Q17. Honourable Member for Onchan, Mr. Callister.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can I ask the Chairman of the Post Office if she'll make a statement on the increase of the postal charges that will come into effect on 6th of January 2020?
And the Chairman to reply, Ms Hedge.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I hope the Honourable Member means the 6th of April 2020, not January. In 2018, the Post Office's 5-year strategy set out the Board's intention to return the business to profit. Our pricing strategy is a key component which seeks to balance the overall forecast reduction in volume of 8% with increasing costs. The Board are conscious of the need to retain value for money, postage in relation to the exclusive privilege for the conveyance of letters, while retaining competitive advantage in our parcel pricing structure. While there is an increase, our first-class postage remains low compared with neighbouring jurisdictions. For example, our standard letter rate will increase by 5 pence to 62 pence. The equivalent first-class rate from Royal Mail will increase by 6 pence to 76 pence. And I do just need to mention, we do have to seek approval to any price increases from our sponsoring department. Thank you, Mr. President.
Supplementary, Mr. Callister.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can I ask the Chairman of the Board, if the Board and the senior management are being disingenuous when they boast about having the cheapest first-class mail rate at 62p, but fail to acknowledge that Guernsey offers a local letter postage rate at 48 pence and Jersey offers a local letter rate of 54 pence, which is there to encourage local businesses and local domestic customers to use their service. And can I also ask the Chairman if she will consider introducing a local letter rate in the Isle of Man in order for businesses and residents to support the Isle of Man Post Office in the coming weeks and months?
And the Chairman to reply.
Apologies, Mr. President, I didn't quite hear that second question at the end there.
Repeat that.
I'm happy to clarify that, Mr. President. What I'm asking the Chairman to do is to introduce an Isle of Man local letter rate similar to what is in Guernsey and in Jersey in order to encourage businesses and local residents to use the Isle of Man post system in the coming weeks and months.
Sage.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll just focus on that last point. Obviously, I will relay that back to the Board and we'll take into any consideration anything that Isle of Man Post Office can do to support during the crisis point that the island is in. With regards to the pricing structure, and you mentioned Guernsey and Jersey, our pricing structure is always first-class mail, so they are offering a local rate, which Isle of Man Post Office don't do at the present time.
Mr. Hooper.
Thank you very much, Mr. I'd like the Post Office Chair to confirm something. She said that they're required to get the approval of the sponsoring department before they bring in any changes. My understanding of the Post Office Act is actually they're required legally to consult with the sponsoring department before they bring in any changes. Can she confirm that my understanding is firstly correct, and secondly, can she advise whether or not this consultation actually took place? Chairman
to reply.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I can confirm that this consultation took place this year, as it has done on every year. With regards to the Act, I have got it, but yes, we do consult and we do get agreement from the sponsoring department.
Supplementary, Mr. Morehouse.
Thank you, Mr. President. In recent months, a UK company has heavily promoted their low-cost postage prices. Will this price hike make Isle of Man Post Office's stamps even less attractive for commercial operators?
Absolutely. Chairman to reply.
Thank you, Mr. President. Obviously, our price is cheaper than Royal Mail are offering for our letters. Our commercial customers, who we have many, deal with us direct, and there is contracts in place that we can do a service to commercial customers. So if there's any commercial customers that the honourable members are aware of, they can certainly approach Isle of Man Post Office and we can look at this.
Supplementary question, the Chief Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President. Would the honourable member for Onchan, Chair of the Post Board, not agree with me that as the Isle of Man is 6 times bigger than Jersey and 12 times bigger than Guernsey, then trying to compare the price in Guernsey with the Isle of Man is a little bit embarrassing. That we have to, whilst we give a good service to the people, the cost of a stamp, the few pence difference is neither here nor there when you look at the costs involved with the greater transport.
Thank you, Mr President, and yes, thank the Chief Minister for that. Obviously, we are a larger operation and we do have costs which have to be considered on an annual basis, and as I said at the opening of my statement, the 5-year strategy set out clearly what the price and structure would be.
Honourable Member Mr Baker.
Thank you, Mr President. The Chair of the Post Office referred in a previous answer to my honourable friend Mr Hooper's answer of the consultation that took place with the Department for Enterprise. Could you clarify what form that consultation took place? If it was documented in writing, would you please circulate it to honourable members? And if it didn't take place in writing, could you confirm when it took place and who was there?
Chairman to reply.
Thank you, Mr President. The process that takes place is there's obviously a recommendation from the Board of Isle of Man Post Office, which is then forwarded to our sponsoring department, the Department for Enterprise, with regards to our recommendations. What happens at that point within the Department for Enterprise, I am not certain of, but I'm sure it could be confirmed. And as long as Department for Enterprise are confident that we can circulate any of this and we have their approval to do it, I'm quite happy to circulate to all honourable members.
Mr Morehouse.
Thank you, Mr President. Do commercial operators get a discount on their postal charges?
Chairman.
Thank you, Mr President. As I said, we have a marketing team, and if any commercial customers wish to come forward, obviously it depends on, we don't have a set rate for any volumes of postage, but if a commercial customer comes forward, we will always look at trying to be the most competitive we can be.
Final supplementary, I think. Mr Baker.
Thank you, Mr President. Thank the Chairman for confirming that she is prepared to circulate the documentation. Can she clarify what was received back from the Department of Enterprise in response to whatever the Post Office sent them? And can she also circulate that, please?
Chairman to reply.
Thank you, Mr President. I'm quite surprised really at the honourable member's tone that he feels that we haven't done this in a professional, business-like manner. We certainly have, and certainly I can't actually give you the date that we received that, but before any public statement goes out with regards to price increases, we would have received the confirmation from our sponsoring department.